Shoukat has a plastic bag in his hand containing 3 eggs. He didn't have enough money to buy a whole dozen, so he took just 3. This actually works out since there are 3 people at home and 3 eggs will suffice. Shoukat comes home and hands the 3 eggs to Reba, saying she should cook them with potatoes in a soupy dish. Reba smiles and agrees. Reba takes the eggs and heads to the kitchen. Even on such a disheartening day, Shoukat can remain calm seeing Reba's smiling face. This girl has no restlessness within her. She always maintains a serene demeanor as if nothing has happened. Yet everything is in disarray. Shoukat goes over to his daughter's study table where Reba is doing math. Reba is now in the 10th grade, and as he rests his hand on his head, Reba turns to look at her father. The girl has become like her mother, with a smile plastered on her face while speaking. Since Shoukat lost his job, he has been living on credit. It has been a month without work. He has let go of Reba's tutor, and now she learns math from her friends. Still, she never complains to her father about it. After washing his hands and face, Shoukat sits down to eat at the table. Reba brings the lentils and pumpkin she cooked for lunch. Shoukat calls Reba to eat. Reba says, "Dad, I won't eat now. I'll eat together at Sari. I don't feel like eating right now." Reba doesn't come to eat. Shoukat and Reba sit down to eat. Reba asks, "Have you found anything regarding the job?" Shoukat replies, "So far I don't see much possibility. I don't know how much longer this will go on." Hearing Shoukat's words, Reba quietly focuses on her plate of rice. A long sigh escapes her. The sound of Reba's sigh makes Shoukat feel down. Reba has been fasting since 7th grade. Even if they forbid her, she doesn't listen. Today is the first Sari, yet they couldn't buy anything for Ramadan at home. She has only brought 3 eggs. Shoukat feels bad for the girl now. Sari can be managed with eggs and potatoes, but he is now worried about Iftar time. There is nothing at home for Iftar. Every year before Ramadan they shop, and before Iftar, Reba usually hovers around her mother. She helps her mother in the kitchen, yet this year they might only break their fast with water, then they will have to eat rice. Shoukat has rushed around to many places all day, but he hasn't accomplished much work. He went to the shop once for credit. Bashar Bhai, with a sweet smile, says, "Shoukat Bhai, I've decided not to sell any credit during Ramadan." Shoukat didn't want much more. He returned home with just 3 eggs bought with the money he had in his pocket. Reba finishes cooking on the stove and comes to the bed. The heat in the city has increased. Now they can't stay without a fan. Sitting on the bed with a sweaty body, Reba seems very quiet today, not speaking unless necessary. Perhaps Reba is feeling down too. On a special day, they are drifting through an uncertain time. No one knows how long this time will last. Shoukat didn't realize when fatigue settled over his body. He wakes up to Reba's call, opens his eyes, and sees Reba standing beside him, calling out. The alarm is ringing on the city's loudspeaker. The curtain of the window is drawn aside, and Shoukat looks outside to see that one by one all the windows of the city's houses are lighting up. Shoukat brushes his teeth and sits down to eat. Reba has cooked 2 eggs. Shoukat asks why she didn't leave another one. Reba replies that she doesn't actually feel like eating eggs, they can have them. She'll eat with potatoes instead. Having not been able to buy anything without eggs for a long time, Reba has developed a disinterest in eggs. After having Sari, Shoukat walks around the room for a while, and during this, the Fajr call to prayer occurs. Shoukat heads towards the mosque to perform the Fajr prayer. After praying, he doesn't feel like returning home from the mosque. There's a cool breeze by the lake, so he walks there. This morning, there aren't many people in the city. Everyone has had Sari, prayed, and will sleep in late. Shoukat walks on the empty streets of the city, feeling the cool breeze on his skin. He sits on a park bench for a while, and in front of him, 2 mynas are fluttering about, and Shoukat watches them in admiration. What liveliness there is in those 2 birds. Shoukat wishes he could be a myna. Life feels so dull now, as if there's been no excitement, stuck in the same place for a long time. If he were a bird, he wouldn't have a sea of thoughts in his head. Shoukat cannot become a bird. He has no wings. The soft morning sun touches him from behind the leaves. Shoukat starts to walk. He decides to go to his elder sister's house once. It costs 20 taka to take the bus to his sister's house. Shoukat begins to walk. He only has 10 taka in his pocket now, and that money is torn. When the doorbell rings at Big Sister's house, she opens the door with sleepy eyes. Shoukat had come to ask her for some money, but she told him to sit down and said, You stay, I'm going to sleep. I didn't get any sleep last night. What can Shoukat do just sitting there? After losing his job, Shoukat realized that the loved ones of needy people often don't want to sit with them, fearing they might ask for money at any moment. After sitting on the sofa for a while, Shoukat leaves Big Sister's house. Now he doesn't know where to go, takes out his phone from his pocket and sees that it's only 9 o'clock. He's already feeling tired. He doesn't feel like going home and the streets are very sunny. He thinks he could sit in some park. As Shoukat walks from Big Sister's house towards a park, his phone in his pocket rings. He takes it out and sees that Rahat Bhai is calling. Hello Shoukat, where are you? Heading towards Nizam Park, brother. Oh, that's good. Take a rickshaw and come to my office right now. I have urgent matters to discuss with you regarding that work we talked about the other day. Rahat Bhai hangs up. Shoukat knows that Rahat Bhai probably doesn't realize he doesn't have money for a rickshaw. He continues walking, searching for the shade of a shop. Arriving at Rahat Bhai's office feels good. There's air conditioning here. All the heat from his body has dissipated and he feels cool. His fatigue has lessened and his eyelids are getting heavy. It would be nice to take a nap here for an hour. About 10 minutes later, Rahat Bhai arrives and takes Shoukat to his desk. Laughing, he says, "You see, Shoukat, I got you to do a job, right? Remember? The client liked the work and they paid $318. They mentioned 2 more jobs. Can you handle them?" Shoukat replies that he can. Rahat Bhai says, "Do one thing, there's a vacancy in our office. If you want, you can join. You'll start with a salary of $26,000, and it will increase later. And since you're a talented person, I expect your salary to double in 2 months." Shoukat agrees to Rahat Bhai's offer, and Rahat Bhai has asked him to start from tomorrow. Shoukat has confirmed that he will come. Shoukat is walking in the sun, but it doesn't feel too hot now. Suddenly walking from the air conditioning into the sun feels even hotter, but he doesn't feel that way now. In Shoukat's pocket is a yellow envelope containing 20,000 taka. Just a little while ago, Rahat Bhai gave him the envelope. 15 days ago, at Rahat Bhai's request, he completed a job for his foreign client and they were pleased with it. Yesterday they made the payment and today Rahat Bhai called him to give him this money, along with securing his job in the office. When God empties someone completely, he fills them abundantly when he wishes. Shoukat takes a rickshaw towards the big market near his house, first going to the fish market. He buys fish, then he buys 2 kilograms of fruit. He likes purple eggplant, so he goes to the vegetable market. After paying off the shopkeeper, he buys groceries for home. Reba likes to eat bananas with rice during Ramadan, so he buys 3 bunches of bananas for her. With the shopping bag, Shoukat gets into the rickshaw. While sitting in the rickshaw, he remembers that Reba and Rifa like ice cream, so he stops the rickshaw nearby and buys ice cream from a shop. When Reba opens the door, she sees Shoukat standing with 2 big shopping bags. Reba takes out the items one by one from the bags and arranges them in the kitchen, putting the fish in the fridge. Rifa is very happy to get ice cream and carefully puts it in the fridge to eat during Iftar. After performing the Zuhr prayer, Reba goes to the kitchen to start cooking. She will cook fish and greens. Rifa rushes to her mother and asks, "Mom, aren't you going to make eggplant and potato chops?" Reba replies, "Yes, I will, but first let the rice and curry be cooked." Shoukat has performed ablution. Rifa is the first to sit at the table, calling her parents for a long time. Shoukat looks at the clock and sees there are only 20 minutes left. Reba has also come after performing ablution and sits beside him. Looking at the table, Shoukat sees a bowl of ice cream, bananas, Rifa's favorite eggplant, potato chops, cold water from the fridge, and cut fruits. Looking at the table, Shoukat silently says, "Alhamdulillah." Rifa says from the side, "Mom, I will eat a whole jug of sherbet by myself today." Reba laughs and says, "You can only drink sherbet. You have to eat the rest of the food too." Rifa says, "Mom, just watch, I can eat everything." Seeing his daughter's smiling face and anticipation brings peace to Shoukat's heart. He doesn't feel tired. Rather, he finds this moment of waiting for the food in front of him very beautiful. Just this morning, Shoukat, Reba, and Rifa had no idea that such a beautiful moment was waiting for them in the evening.